Hey y'all, welcome to another Soul Food Sunday dinner. In case you didn't know, Sundays in the South are a big deal. We eat like it's Thanksgiving every week. And this week we're having So everything that I'm cooking today is coming straight from my pantry, refrigerator, and freezer. This is going on week 2 of me not having to go to the grocery store. Y'all, if you want to save money, try doing one of those no spend challenges. You can do a month, a week. It doesn't matter. Just try to go at least a week without spending extra money outside of the necessities. And so far it's been 2 weeks since I've been to the grocery store. So whatever I cook today, if I'm missing an ingredient, I'm just going to have to figure it out and make it do what it do. I'll figure out how to make it work with the missing ingredients. But anyway, as Jordan would say, let me stop yapping and get in this kitchen and get to cooking. The first thing that I'm going to do is pick through the peas and get rid of any that look sus. Now, sometimes you may find rocks, so it's better to take your time and go through all of the peas. Yeah, the ones that look like this should not be in there. Someone did leave a great tip in the comment section the other day regarding picking through beans and peas. They said it's quicker to place them on a sheet pan, and I totally agree. I tried it last week and I was able to see all of the beans that didn't belong. I would have used a sheet pan today, but I'm not sure what my other 2 kids were cooking, but they were all in use. Now that I have went through and gotten rid of all of the peas that don't belong, I'm just going to give them a good wash. I didn't soak them overnight, so I'm going to flash soak them. And to do that, I'm going to place my washed peas into a pot of boiling water for 2 minutes. And then after 2 minutes, I'm going to remove them from the heat and then cover and let them sit for 1 hour. You can totally skip this step because the peas are small enough to where they will still cook evenly. Soaking just helps them to cook faster and reduce the amount of gas buildup in your stomach. I've added my liner to the crock pot because who has time to do all of that cleaning afterwards? This is how the peas look after soaking for 1 hour. Notice that they are slightly larger than they were before flash soaking them. Let's pour them into the crock pot so that they can start cooking. Y'all, this smoked turkey leg is so huge. I couldn't get it to fit in that crock pot or any pot for that matter. I tested a few out, but it just would not fit in any of my pots. So I'll have to cut the meat off the bone and let it cook that way. I mean, I was going to have to cut it up anyway after a few hours, so I might as well do it now. I figured that by cutting it up, the black eyed peas will have even more of that smoky flavor. Let me know in the comments section, what type of meat do you use when cooking black eyed peas? My go-to meat is smoked neck bones, but I'm slowly moving away from that because of all of the bones that it leaves behind when you cook it. I tried ham shanks for the first time and I loved it. There are no extra bones, just meat. I figured I would give this turkey leg a try, but didn't realize how big it was when I grabbed it. I should have paid attention to that. But we're going to give this turkey leg a try and see what these black eyed peas are going to taste like with it. So now I'm just adding a carton of chicken stock. I know that this will not be enough to cover all of the peas and meat, so I'm going to add a little water to get everything all covered up. I have my onion all nice and chopped. I use my food processor instead of chopping it myself to save save time. Then I'm going to add my bell pepper. I have a few packs stashed away in the freezer, so I just grabbed one to add here. I really needed to add celery, but I didn't have any pre-made frozen packs or any fresh celery in the fridge, so we'll just have to skip that ingredient for now. I have about 4 cloves of garlic that I'm pressing into the crock pot, and when all of these vegetables marry, it's going to have the whole house smelling like the good old days, y'all. And last but not least, I'll be adding 2 bay leaves. Notice that I haven't added any seasonings yet. I'm going to save that for the last hour of cooking. When you add salt at the beginning, it causes your peas to toughen, but if you add it towards the end, it allows the peas to fully cook and they will have a more tender texture. It's really all about personal preference. Since I discovered adding salt towards the end, that's how I've been cooking mine. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to let it cook for 5 hours. But in that 4th hour is when I'm going to come in and add my seasonings. The seasonings that I'm using are 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, a half teaspoon of Creole seasoning, a half teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 1/4 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, and 1 teaspoon of oregano. So now I'm just going to mix all of these spices together before adding them to the pot. When I tell you that my kitchen smells like that good old after church, let's eat type of smell, it's that smoked turkey leg combined with the onions, garlic, and bell pepper that has my kitchen smelling so good. My middle son walked in and said that it smells just like Mama and Papa's house. And it does. It really does. That's why I have to keep these types of meals going so that we don't forget our ancestors. So now I'm just stirring and sampling to see how much salt needs to be added. The Creole seasoning is salty, but after tasting the pot liquor, it could use a tiny bit more. Once I get the taste where I want it, then I'm going to cover it and let it cook for 1 more hour. Here are the spices that I'm using for the smothered chicken. 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. My chicken has been washed and dried, and now I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil on it and give it a good rub. The reason why we add oil before spices is so that the spices will stick to the chicken. Y'all, smothered chicken was a weekly meal in my house growing up. My parents would make it with mashed potatoes and sweet peas. My mom would take the juices from the chicken and make an indentation in the mashed potatoes and then fill it with the juice or gravy made from the chicken. It was so good, y'all. But I'm making mine slightly different than the way they made theirs. I remember them using cream of chicken and cream of mushroom in addition to a few spices. I'm not using the cream of chicken and cream of mushroom. I will be making a roux, so that will kind of sort of take the place of the cream of chicken and cream of mushroom. So right now I'm just pouring the spices a little at a time to make sure that all of the legs are covered. Right now it doesn't look well seasoned, but once I get all of the spices on there, you will be able to see the difference. I have my oil heating up so that I can sear the chicken legs. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can pretty much use whatever oil you have on hand. I'm searing the legs on all sides, and the purpose of searing is to create that golden brown crust. It's more for texture, but it also enhances the flavor of the chicken. So just imagine all of those spices that we added to the chicken. This is going to be chef's kiss, y'all. So now I'm just going to saute my bell pepper, onion, and garlic in some butter. If I had celery, this is where I would have added it, but since I don't, I'm just going to roll with what I have. I'm going to cook these until they are softened or translucent. And it may take a minute because the bell pepper was frozen. By this point, I've added 4 tablespoons of flour, and I'm just stirring to get that raw flour taste out. It kind of sort of looks like a roux. So now I'm just going to add chicken stock to loosen up the flour mixture. This is the consistency that I want. You can see the chunks of bell pepper while the onion and garlic has blended in. When it comes to vegetables, you can slice them, dice them, chop them, however you like them. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So now I'm pouring the mixture onto the chicken, and then I'm going to place it into the oven at 375 degrees for 1 hour. But I am going to cover it before I place it into the oven. I had so many legs left over that I made a second batch without the mixture. Sweet potato pie, a true Sunday dinner staple. I washed my sweet potatoes and then boiled them until they were tender. By this point in the process, I was on the clock, y'all. I did not wait for them to cool off before I started mixing them. My husband was literally about to record his podcast as I was adding ingredients to the sweet potato pie. The kids and I and the dog tried to tiptoe around the house as he's recording, so I knew that I couldn't be making all of this noise with the blender, so I really rushed through making this pie. Now, if he was podcasting by himself, then he could have just pushed it off and recorded it at a different time, but he does have a partner where they podcast together, so I had to hurry up so that I wouldn't delay their recording time. And here are all of the ingredients that I'm going to be adding to this pie. I have 1 cup of melted butter, 2.5 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of self-rising flour, a 1/4 cup of buttermilk, a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of lemon extract, and 4 eggs. Y'all, I have so many different sweet potato pie recipes, and I have yet to find that perfect one. This one comes close, but I have yet to find the one that my dad used to use. Now, he did write it down somewhere, and I have not found that written sweet potato pie recipe, but as soon as I find it, I'm going to make it. I do remember him using evaporated milk and some other ingredients. I can't even begin to tell you the measurements that he used. When I find that recipe, I'm going to hurry up and make that pie, just to bring back those memories of him cooking in the kitchen. Now, if you have a specific sweet potato pie recipe that you use, drop it down in the comment section so that I can give it a try. So y'all see that I put all of those eggs in that bowl together. You are not supposed to do that. You're supposed to blend 1 egg at a time. Since I was pressed for time, I had to throw all of them in there and mix them. He was literally about to press the record button as I dropped that last egg in there. But thankfully, I was able to mix everything up and get that pie in the oven before he started talking. And this is how the pie turned out, y'all.
Our whole world will change while stepping into love. Oh, take a chance on us. Take a chance on us. Won't you make a change for us? Make a change for us.
Hello, viewers. Another episode of Jordan's Cooking Reviews. Cooking will come later. Reviews. And today, do we have any utensils, or am I just going to barehand this? Let me check. Shoot, I guess we'll use a spoon, question mark. We'll use a spoon for all but the chicken. Okay, well, what we have here is obviously a jumbo-sized chicken leg. Where do we get this from? Foghorn Leghorn?
I know, it's like they put steroids or something.
Yeah, they did. I'm going
that
to.
thing is huge.
This is a big chicken. The chicken that crawl at the skyfall, whatever. And what we have here is a mix of white rice, beans, and some meat there.
Yeah, black-eyed peas with some turkey leg, smoked turkey leg, and we have jasmine rice.
Jasmine rice. Okay, I like that. And of course, I can recognize this as cornbread. Looks delicious and feels soft. The spoon kind of just poked it. I actually created a little fracture in it, but that's besides the point. Still getting eaten. So what I'm going to start with first is I have a utensil at hand. So we're going to start with this little combination of multitude of things. I'm going to get one with a giant fraction of meat in there. Okay, I just want to take a little analysis. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Delicious goodness. And it looks healthy too.
It is.
Oh, okay. Even better. It is healthy. It tastes healthy. Well, I can't say taste healthy. I haven't tasted it yet. So without me yapping, let me actually taste it. Delicious. Okay, and healthy. The right amount of healthy. I taste the sweetness of the rice and the very heavy flavor of the beans.
Yes, there's all kinds of spices in the beans.
It mixes well, and I kind of like it. I like the mixed flavor. So now on to cornbread that I've broken at this point. We're just gonna, before I break it even further, can we get an analysis of that? I want us to appreciate the soft texture it looks like, and I would ramble more here, but there's not much else to say, but it looks delicious, so let's try it. Very chewy. Okay. It was absolute certified bopified delicious. Okay, loved it. Texture and taste. Y'all thought I was going to use a spoon to eat the chicken, but if I had a fork, I sure would have. So we're going to use my bare hands, which I will be washing later.
Ooh, you know what we forgot? Hot sauce.
You bought this chicken from the church, ain't it? It tastes good. I heard the angels singing and the choirs are preaching. And now we're gonna try it with hot sauce. Got a little kick to it. Tastes delicious. Let's hope I don't turn into a flaming dragon and burn this place down.
It's not that spicy, is it?
No, me no think so. Maybe. Anywho, okay. Pretty solid dinner here. We got the healthy side. Is that even healthy?
Yep.
Healthy. Even a delicious chicken. I give this a solid 10 out of 10.
Woo!
No complaints from me. It tastes absolutely delicious. Now, if you excuse me, my stomach is a grumbling and mostly rumbling. Enough of my rambling. I gotta go. Peace. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe.
Even though I was pressed for time and almost set the house on fire, we're not going to even talk about that. We are not going to talk about how I almost set the house on fire, y'all. But even though I was pressed for time because of my husband's podcast and I almost set the house on fire, I think the food turned out just right. Jordan said he gave it a 10 out of 10, so that lets me know that it tastes like something. Now I see how those folks on Chopped feel, because I was literally down to the wire when I started baking that sweet potato pie. As soon as I put those eggs in there, my husband was like, you cannot have that blender going while I'm podcasting. And I'm like, I know, I'm trying to hurry up. I'm trying to hurry up and get this thing in the oven so that you can start your podcast. Thankfully, I was able to blend everything up just in time. He was literally about to hit the record button as I was pouring it into that pie shell and getting it into the oven. Now, how did I almost set the house on fire? Let's talk about it. Whenever my husband is podcasting, the kids and I and the dog, we all try to move quietly throughout the house. And so when he started podcasting, after I got that pie in the oven, I went in my room and closed the door, because I knew that I had it at least an hour before that pie was ready. So while I was in my room organizing, I saw some smoke, and I'm like, where is all this smoke coming from? So I went to the kitchen, and y'all, I was panicking quietly though. I panicked quietly. Went to the oven, opened it up. It was a small fire in the bottom of the oven. Y'all, I was like, what is going on? Because I cooked the pie along with the smothered chicken. And when I opened that oven up, the juices from the smothered chicken had leaked onto the oven floor. And I'm like, Lord, let me put this fire out. Let me get this chicken. Let me make sure this pie is not burning. It was just so many things going on, y'all. So many things. And I got that chicken out of there, put out the fire. And well, the chicken was already done by this point. It had already been an hour. So I just went ahead and took it out. I left the pie in there because it still had a few more minutes to cook. So, yeah. And all while this was happening, my husband had no clue. I don't even think he saw the smoke. And he's sitting right here in the room with the smoke. The kids saw the smoke. They came downstairs like, what's happening? Why is there so much smoke? And I'm so thankful that the smoke detector did not go off. It was just enough smoke for it not to activate. And I was so thankful for that. But got the chicken out, saved the day, y'all. Went back to my room and woo-saw. I had to woo-saw, y'all. That was stressful. I thought the whole house was about to catch on fire, because it was like a mini fire in the bottom of the oven. And y'all, with that stuff spilling out of the casserole dish, now the bottom of my oven is dirty. So now I got to get in there and clean that out. And if you've seen my oven cleaning TikTok challenge video, I'll link it somewhere up here or down in the description box. But y'all, the last time my oven got like this, I had a hard time getting that stuff off of that oven. And I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I cannot do that again. That was a lot of work getting that stuff off of that oven. So I think I'm gonna have to go to Dollar Tree or somewhere and get some oven cleaner, because I don't have a self-cleaning oven. I wish I did, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to put some elbow grease to this thing and get it clean, because now every time I turn that oven on, it starts smoking, and we can't have that. I have to clean that oven out, because I can't keep living like this with that oven like that. So I gotta clean it. So I guess that's next on my agenda, is to clean that oven out. So quick tip, if you do cook the smothered chicken, make sure you put a sheet pan or some foil paper or something up under it in case the juices leak out, so that you don't go through what I went through with this oven. But we survived, y'all. We survived. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me today. I pray that y'all have an amazing day, and family, we will chit chat in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.
Your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me.